Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Sorry for the long lag in between videos, just had a lot going on last week or so, so haven't been able to get out too many. Attempted to get a couple out earlier this week, and races just did not run very well at all, so trying again here, late model fixed series. This time we are at Martinsville Speedway. Seems like a fairly higher strength of field overall. We are car number 10 out of 13 and we qualified 11th. Screwed up the first lap pretty bad, so it was only going to pick up so much speed the second lap. Typically my first laps, when I drive them correctly, are faster than my second, so we probably gave up another 10th at least, which could have moved us up mid-pack, you know, maybe 7th or 8th or something like that. So almost starting in the complete back, so hopefully that'll allow us to miss any carnage that happens early on, but it's also going to put us at a big deficit for trying to move up. Got a couple new revised goals that I want to try to do every race for myself. You guys follow along with. I always want to try to get a 0x. I want to try to finish higher than my car number, finish ahead of where we start, and then if we can, finish in the top 5. So hopefully we can at least check a couple of those off this race, and we're just going to try to do all we can. We are off and rolling. At least got on the inside, not that I had to battle too many cars, so just going to try to get into turn 1 as best as we can, not slide the tires, not get any wrecks. See people getting shifted out to the outside already, so just going to try to get it by as many of them as we can and gain some spots, see if we can follow the 9 through. Not sure how aggressive he's going to be or how good he's going to get. He pushes up a little bit through 3 and 4 there, so just have to watch out, see what we can get. Looks like we are in 10th right now, so picked up a spot out of it. Looks like the 9 goes high, makes contact with the 3, sorry. So we're just going to do what we can. 9 brakes a little bit late. We almost got into the back of him. 3's going to be looking inside of us when he can, so we're just going to try to protect the bottom, work our way around. Brake a little bit earlier just so I don't run into the back of the 9. Looks like the 11 is a little bit slow. You can see the front 6 or so are breaking away from the 11, but just going to try to do what we can to work our way cleanly around these guys, save tires, but also not lose touch with the front at all.
New fastest lap for Boudreaux, 20.67. P8, that lap was at 21.04.
We're slowly moving up, so
just done at 21.00.
top 6, top 5 out of this would be a great result, especially given where we started since we qualified so poorly. And track position here is just huge. It can be very tough to pass, and especially when you're on a fixed setup and there's, you know, not a lot of differentiation that way to help speed out. I feel like I'm not exactly the fastest, but shouldn't be horribly off the pace compared to all but the top few cars. But again, this seems to be a stronger field, so you know, we're gonna have to ramp up our game if we want to be able to contend.
That lap time was
9 slowing way down. Looks like he's trying to look inside the 11, but we're gonna have to start eventually looking at moving him or trying to do something to get by, because both of them are holding us up, and I got the 3 coming up behind me. I can't afford to lose too much more time, so to try to make some sort of move to the inside, or, you know, a little bump and run or something like that. I don't typically like to race like that, but I can't afford to sit back here the whole time either. Looks like the 9's going to try to go underneath the 11. We're going to try to take advantage of that, make a little bit of contact with 9 as he's slow getting out of the corner. Thankfully it doesn't result in any incident points. And we'll try to keep pressure on the inside of the 9. We'll see what he does pace-wise. We may just follow him and ride through. 3 looks like he's falling his way back up through us, so would love to get by the 9, get into 6, see if we can try to chase down the 5, although it seems like that's going to be quite difficult as that pack is just checked away from us. So I feel like that was a lot in due part to the 11. You can see he's fallen back all the way to 10th already, so frustrating when that happens, but not much you can do. And again, I'm trying to run everybody as clean as I can, so I'm going to try to find a gap, pull away from the 3 a little bit if we can, and try to work our way, hang with the 9, kind of just log some laps right now. 50 laps isn't crazy long, but it's definitely long enough here that, you know, you can get into a rhythm where you just kind of want to log laps and save tires. Looks like the 9's pulling away from us, but we are slightly pulling away from the 3s, so Feel okay with that. The one to keep an eye on is the gap to the 5, so we'll check that next time by the line, see where we stand. Feel like even if we can finish 7th, we might have a shot at picking up some higher rating, possibly because of being the number 10 car, so we'll see. So the line, we're about 2.6 back from the 5.
Your lap time was at 21.09.
Just keep an eye on where that goes. Probably move the brake bias back in a few laps as well, a little bit. Looks like we definitely are losing some time to the 5, so 6th place is probably all we're going to be able to do if we can get to the 9. I feel like he's just overdriving it and going to heat up the tires.
Keep it up.
So, yeah, hopefully, you know, it's one of those that he might be pulling away a little bit now, but if he's abusing his tires, he'll fall off a little more the back half, you know, around lap 30 or so, and we can try to get back to him. Just gonna try to keep it clean, not make any mistakes, not overdrive the car, slide tires at all, and try to keep pace, pull away from the 3 if we can. Because pressure out back will be the biggest thing that'll force us to make mistakes or wear out tires. Looks like we're about holding pace now with the 5, so he might be getting slowed up a little bit or falling off, and we're just kind of holding even. But again, we're just going to kind of ride it around. If I can get a 6 out of this, I know that's not the top 5 goal, but that would be great. Just like we're running about even with the 3, he seems to be pulling away from the 2 as well, so trying to find a little bit of a gap here just to ride around and log some laps. Trying to keep the car off the corner, off the curbing, so that way we can get in the gas a little bit. You can see that causes us to lose some time into the 5, so entries here are a big deal. I gotta try to make sure I don't go too far inside as it pinches it and just kills the speed through the middle, so I also don't want to start too high and not get low enough or overshoot the corner. So it's a fine line when we're all running the fixed setup. You got to hit that line just dead on in order to be quick. See, we get a little loose coming in, turn while we were still on the brake, that rotated us in. Helped us pick up on the 9, but didn't help us pull away from the 3 at all, so 9's really slowing down. I think he's overheated those tires, and that's caused him to push quite a bit, so we're going to try to look to get to his inside at some point if we can, because I feel like the 3, if we don't, will start catching up to us. Try to find our way if we can get to his inside off the corner. Try to set up the pass into the next end. See if we can get a run now. It's just so hard to get runs here without making any contact or without somebody making a big mistake. And the 9, while he's pushing slow, seems to be driving fairly smart overall, so I'm just going to try to do what we can. You can definitely see he's holding us up, and the 3 is getting closer to us, so we're going to have to look at trying to get by the 9 as quickly as we can if we don't want to lose this spot. Move the brake bias back in here to see if we can start trying to catch up.
Lap times are pretty consistent.
We have lost touch with the 5, so I think 6th is all we're going to be able to do, so unless somebody wrecks, which we saw a little bit of smoke, but doesn't seem to be anything that's going to gain us a spot.
That lap time was 21.34.
9 makes a mistake that time. We were just too far back to take advantage of it. 6 is closed into us a little bit. He's massively gapped, or 3 is closed into us. Massively gapped, looked like the 11 actually got by the 2, so only worried about pressure from the 3 right now, so just trying to keep it off the 9. He's really getting quite slow through the corners, so yeah, we're just gonna have to try to find a way around him as soon as we can if we don't want to lose any more time to the 3. Just feel like I can't get enough of a run to get inside of the 9 and try to take advantage. He slides up, so we're gonna try to get to his inside now. Get on by him if we can. He gets into the wall outside, hopefully he doesn't come down into us. Try to outbrake him going into the 3, hold it on the inside. Looks like we're able to get by him, so hopefully he makes it harder for the 3 to get by him, and we can try to get around, or get away from the 3 a little bit. So it feels good to finally get that pass and to do it cleanly without having to resort to any cons. I just had to wait to make a mistake. So we're going to be halfway through the race this time by. We are going to be about probably 3.5 back or so to the 5, so I don't think I'll be able to make that up barring some sort of wreck or calamity up front, so
Okay, Jake.
just going to try to do the best that we can. I feel like I burned up the right front quite a bit trying to run with the line to get by him, so not sure if I have anything for anybody else, but just going to try to limp it home and bring it around in a 6th if we can. It'll be a good result for the race. Seems like we're holding about pace with the 5, but obviously in order to get back we'd have to make some serious gains quickly in order to leave us with enough time. We get into the wall. Thankfully it doesn't cause us instant point. Hopefully it didn't hurt the right front too bad. Just got on the throttle a little too early trying to get out of the corner and pushed it right up. So gotta make sure I don't make any mistakes like that. That's not going to be good for us being able to try to get away from the 3 and the 9. So just gotta let the car roll a little bit more through the corners. So far it seems like the 9's doing exactly what we wanted to. I'm holding up the 3, so just gonna hope that continues on and we can try to pull away. Would love to get, you know, 7/10s, 8/10s, something like that away from the 2 of them.
That was
And try to maintain that as long as we can, because that'll help towards the back end of the race to make it tougher for the 3 to get to us. So I think he's going to be definitely our biggest threat to not finish 6th. Looks like he's hanging back a little bit from the 9. He can't quite challenge, so he might have used his stuff up trying to get to us. 9 is starting to close in a little bit, but I feel like I'm also driving the car a little bit slower than I probably could, so just trying to cool everything down and get it back through. I lost touch with the 5 again, so absolutely no shot at, I think, getting 5th, so we're just trying to protect 6th and finish there if we can. Which again, we're going to come by with 20 to go. I'd be thrilled to finish 6th out of this race, especially after starting 11th, so be able to check off 3 out of the 4. Top 5 would be the only thing we wouldn't be able to get, which, you know, I'll take that for where I started and how the race went last time when I ran here, so just feel like I probably abused the tires a little bit trying to get through some of the cars, so unfortunately that's the problem when you start in the back. You have to push a little bit harder than somebody who does in the front, so definitely need to focus on my qualifying efforts and try to do a little bit better that way. So just gonna see what we can do. Hopefully it won't be too bad of a points, although I'm not crazy worried about the championship standing, especially since we're Division 3, but sometimes it's nice to run for something if you got contention and, you know, get a certificate or something to print from iRacing, so it just makes it a little bit more fun sometimes when you feel like you're struggling with iRating or safety ratings. So we need a lot of good safety rating races, a lot of good 0Xs to try to build back some of the progress we've lost in the last week. Tour Modifieds at South Boston just murdered me quite a bit, so I gotta try to get that back. Looks like the 3 is slowly catching the 9 a little bit. 9's catching us when we have back corners, but we're trying to pull him off the corner. He's hanging right around that 3 to 4/10ths range, so I mean, if we can stay with this for the rest of the race, I'll take it. So I'm gonna move the brake bias back a little more, see if we can help the car rotate in a little bit more, so we can see if we can pull away from them. Again, I know I have absolutely no shot at the top 5, so it's just all about protecting this 6th right now as best as I can. Just trying to get a good entry, slow the car in, and try to help it rotate through the center without hitting the curb. So looks like the 3 is going to get inside of the 9 this time. 9 made a bad mistake in the 1 and 2, so that's going to allow them to get them by. Hopefully they can run side by side for a little bit. We can pull away and have a bigger gap for the 3 to try to close.
The gap in front is now 4.7.
Because again, I feel like, you know, he's definitely got a car that can get to us, but if we can build enough of a gap up with them racing side by side, which looks like he's cleared them now, it'll be tougher for him to try to get to us and get by us. So I'm going to come by with 13 to go. Hopefully with him 0.6 back, he'll run even with us, and we'll burn some stuff up trying to get by the 9 like we did. So we finished 7th, but, you know, I'm trying to run as best as I can, and if the 3 gets up to us, I'm definitely not going to make it easy for him to get on by. So just going to do what we can. I'm not gonna take the chance if he wants to dump me either, because I'd rather lose 1 or 2 spots than finish all the way back in, you know, 12th or something. But looks like we're running about even. 3 got into the wall, came flying off of it down the backstretch, so hopefully that slows them up a little bit, allows us to pull away, build that gap up even more. See, it's gonna be 0.9 at the line, so see if we can maintain that gap or even extend it a little bit. We'll be coming by for 10 to go next time by, so definitely if we could maintain that gap or extend it, it'll make it that much harder for him to get to us, because it's tough to catch somebody that fast and then be able to get by him, as it typically takes a full lap, barring some sort of mistake out of the front car, to complete a pass. So you can see we get into the wall, hurt the right front again, pick up 2x out of that, so unfortunately killed that 0x, but 2x could still be a good one. Lost quite a bit of time. Looks like we lost about 2 tenths to the 3, so that was a mistake we needed to not make. So we're just going to try to let the car rotate again, focus on not getting on the gas too early. I'd rather give up a tenth or half a tenth by getting on the gas a little bit later and not hitting the wall than giving up 2 or 3 tenths by hitting the wall coming up, possibly damaging the car, and then running more incident points. So just gonna do what we can. Move brake bias all the way back if there's any more to give, just to try to help it. I definitely think I've toasted the right front quite a bit. I got to work on entering the car in a little bit more and rolling it through, so that way I don't heat that right front up as bad. I feel like I probably pinched entry a little bit, so when I did that, you know, almost kind of like a diamond through the corner, that was kind of heat up that right front a little bit more, loaded up a little more than I wanted to. So if I run another one of these, that'll be something that I probably should work on. And plan is to try to run a open setup race for this as well, so that'll be something to build a setup around. Help me try to run, you know, a little bit higher of an entry, maybe apex it slightly later and kind of round off the corner a little better, so that I don't load up the right front as much. Let's see, we're about 6 tenths in front of the 3 with 6 laps to go, so hopefully we can try to keep him from gaining more than a tenth a lap and keep this close and finish 6. Bring it home, at least check off 2 out of the 4 goals, which would be a good start. We got smoke up front. I can see a couple cars that are slow. Not sure if they'll be damaged enough for us to get by, but we're going to try to do, looks like the ones into the wall. We're getting the gas a little too early, trying to get to the 1. Looks like that might have been a battle for first and second. So we're going to see how damaged he is. We're going to come by with 4 to go. Don't know if it'll be possible to get both of them, but maybe their cars are damaged enough that we can get by both of them and sneak through for a 4th. If I can get by, you know, both of them, it would put us in that top 5 with check another goal. Looks like the 1's pretty quick. The 4 might be fairly damaged, so we're just going to see, but also going to watch in case there's some animosity there and we have some contact. So 4 seems pretty slow. He's going to cut way down in front of us. But I got a feeling we'll be able to get to his inside if he doesn't want to block too much. Try to get on by him. Still there. We're going to have to get down so we don't let the 3 by us. We try to get to his inside on a crossover. Could help us get to 5th if he's not going to run us too hard. Still there. See, we're able to get inside of him. Didn't over-rotate it, hopefully. The 4 and the 3 will run a little bit harder, and we can keep 5th.
The gap to Boudreaux ahead is now 0.
Don't think we're going to be able to get to the 1. He seems like he's probably about our pace, even with the damage. So, yeah, we're just going to try to hold on to 5th, see if we can bring it home as the top 5. Definitely did not deserve that out of a raw speed standpoint. That was a massive benefit to have the front 2 get into each other. We can take a look at that and see what happened too. So, gave us a huge benefit to be able to finish 5th. Glad I could get a top 5 out of it. Glad I was able to persevere and just drive as well as we can. So, feels good to get that. Hopefully that should help from both a safety rating and an iRating standpoint, and allow us to, at least we were able to check off 3. Feel like I should have had all 4 since I was stupid enough to drive it off the wall, but I'll take a 5th out of it for sure. So let's go take a look at the 1 and see what happened there. You should see he is running first at this point. He's got the 5 underneath him. He cuts down on the 5 and actually pushes up, so that looks like that was a bit there. Not sure. Oh, he just tries to come down and gets right into the 4, and that's what slows both of them down. I'm sure Ryan will watch that again. I think, honestly, the 5 and him were battling for the lead at that point. Where he lost it to the 8 at that point. Yeah, because he was third at that point, so he was trying to battle as hard as he could on the outside with the 5, and just drove right down into the right rear wheel. Didn't give him enough space. That pushed him up the track, and then he tried to come off of the corner, either behind the 4 or whatnot, and just drove right into the back of the left or right rear of the 4. Pushed the 4 up into him into the wall. That gave him both damage. Slowed down. He slides way up through 1 and 2. That slowed him down quite a bit. So that's what allowed me to catch up to them, and it looked like the 4 was pretty severely damaged out of that. Although I would argue that the 1 took a little more worse out of that, so let's see if he gets back into the 4. Is any kind of payback, even though it really was on him. He's sliding it all over. It's like he's going to get back in, barely tap the 4, so he's going to go around the inside. Try to get to his inside. Go on by him. I think you should see us pop up at this point as well, so yeah, that's what I think happened there. So you can see the 8's commenting about that. Yeah, I would say both of those were definitely on the 1 for sure. So 82, 85, not great there. We definitely, like I said, I feel like I was pinching the car too much through the corners and not rolling it, and maybe taking the apex a little bit later. That would have allowed me to conserve the right front and have the balance. That's why I think it got so tight. So definitely something to work on if I run that again. So take a look at the results and see how we did. You can see that was for a late model fixed race anymore, that was pretty good. Almost 2,900 strength field was the top split. We had 4 total. Able to finish 5th, gained us 46 NI rating. Decent for the safety rating, 0.25. Should have been a little better if we wouldn't have had that 2x. We were about 2.5 tenths or so off of the 1 for fast lap. Wanted to be a little bit closer up here, within half a tenth or so for the average lap time. But when you started as far back as we did, dealing with the 9 that was holding us up, I'm pretty happy to have finished where we did and get a top 5 out of that. So 110 points, not amazing, but definitely could have been worse. So glad to take that. So as always, remember to like and subscribe these. Leave any comments. Those would help the channel out greatly as I try to grow all this. Get new stuff for you guys. Let me know what you want to see, feedback, things you guys might have done that worked, anything you picked up from it, or anything you want to see. So stay tuned for the next video. And as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy.